If you want to know where to live in London that is affordable, easy commute, and also matches your vibe, you need to watch this video. When I first moved to London, I used to move every 8 months, each time to a different neighborhood. Over time, I identified 5 steps that I always follow to find areas that feel safe, familiar, and that are still affordable. In this video, I will take London as an example because this is what I know best, but this step-by-step can be used in pretty much any city in the world. Step 1. Let's get started. Take a map of the Underground and pick 3 or 4 tube stations that you will use as a base for your search. How to pick these stations? Prioritize stations that have at least 2 lines. It is extremely handy to have several options in terms of public transport because you know how it goes. Traffic gets suspended, trains are delayed, incidents happen. So if you can double or even triple your public transport options, it can't hurt. If you have no preference regarding where to live, you could prioritize stations that have a direct connection with your work. For example, if your office is in Moorgate, you could select Finchley Road and Wembley Park in the north, Stockwell in the south, and Myland, Barking or Stratford in the east. I never lived in one of these areas myself, so this isn't necessarily my personal recommendation. This is just an example to show you how you can apply the steps that I describe, but of course, feel free to adjust them as needed. Last tip here, as you probably know, some areas are more expensive than others. This is true for London, but probably for every other city as well. And even if you can find amazing deals in any part of the city, it could be useful to have this in mind. North and West will generally be more expensive than South and East. Just saying. If you're feeling a bit overwhelmed because London is huge and you are not familiar with the different neighborhoods, I can relate. Just pick a few tube stations following what I described and take it from there. Baby steps. Step 2. Now that you have a few stations picked up, let's take action. You are going to download an app where you find properties to rent. If you're in the UK, I recommend Zoopla. I find it more user-friendly and this is what I use each time I move. Also, you will see the exact same ads on Zoopla than you would on Rightmove, for instance, so you are not missing out on anything. Create an account so you can save your searches and favorite places and come back to them easily. When setting up an account, create a dedicated email address so that communication with agent don't clutter your main inbox. Trust me, you will thank me later. Step 3. You are now going to create one search per tube station. Let's create your first search together. In the search bar, type one of the tube stations that you identified in step 1. Then click on To Rent and add your criteria. It doesn't have to be extremely precise at this stage. The property search is just an excuse to explore different areas of the city more efficiently. For search radius, I recommend within 1 mile because this is the furthest that I am willing to be from a tube station. It represents a 15 to 20 minute walk. You can also select if you want to see shared accommodations or not. The only other filter that you will need is the budget. Set it up slightly higher than your actual budget. For example, if your budget is £800 a month, put £1,000. If it is £1,000, put £1,250. You get the idea. You can also add a lower limit at £400 or so that your results don't get cluttered with ads for parking spaces. Let's put it into practice with our example. I'm going to look at Finchley Road Station first. Let's say you are a couple, you don't want to share with other people, and you have a budget of £750 each, which is £1,500 total. Within 1 mile, at least 1 bed, maximum budget £1,500, minimum budget, let's do £500. Because let's be honest, there is no way I am going to find a 1-bedroom flat at £500. So ads at this price will either be a scam or a parking space. Exclude share accommodations, then click on search and you graduate to the next step. Step 4. After you click on search, take a note of the number of results. Here I have 9 results for Finchley Road Station. Then scroll down and have a look at all the pictures and save all the apartments that give you a good vibe. You don't have to put too much effort into it, and it doesn't matter if the apartment doesn't match your exact criteria. This is how I did it for Finchley Road. I had a look at all the pictures and I observed how it made me feel. For this first ad, it looks quite small, the furniture is very basic, the kitchen is weird, it looks like it's this tiny thing in the corner. It's a no for me. Second ad, I like that there is a dining table and it looks like there is a space upstairs, which I guess it is the bedroom. There are big windows, it looks brand new. There is also a desk area in the bedroom, which is nice because it's extra space. And I also like the common areas. I am not sure that I would want a bedroom that is not a proper separate room, but I do like the vibe of the flat, so I'm going to save it. Third ad, I'm not too sure. What's up with this bed? Why is the kitchen so big? Why is there like an office area in it? I'm not too sure. It's gonna be a no for me. I'm not going to do a detailed analysis for every ad, but if you'd like to see a video like that, let me know in the comments. To summarize, for this location, there are 9 ads within 1 mile of the tube station, and I saved 1. I repeated the same process for the other tube stations that I identified earlier, and here's the result. Wembley Park, 23 results, and I saved 3. Stockwell, 9 results, and I saved 1. Mile End, 6 results, and I saved 1. Barking, 27 results, and I saved 3. Stratford, 9 results, and I saved 0. Now, think about what you've just seen. For each location, try to answer the following questions. Are there a lot of ads? What kind of prices can you see? On first impression, do you vibe with some of the apartments or do they depress you more than they motivate you? You can rank your locations based on your first impressions and/or on the number of apartments that you saved in each location. In my example, Wembley Park and Barking would rank first. But I had a more positive vibe with the results of the Wembley Park search, so I am going to rank it first. Then I'll rank Barking second, Stockwell third, Finchley Road fourth, Mile End fifth, and Stratford last. Step 5. We are now at the last step of the process, and you have 2 options. The easiest one is this. Go back to the properties that you saved during the previous step and select the ones that you like the most. Remember, it doesn't matter if they match all your criteria or not, or if they are slightly over budget. We are not here to find you an apartment just yet. We just want to get you excited about a place so you can go and see the area and assess it objectively or with a positive bias. If you only see places that you hate, you will develop a negative bias about this area and you won't want to move there. Pin the locations of the properties on your map app and simply go on a day out and see them. The second option is to do the exact same thing, except that you book real viewings to go and see the apartments. I know this won't always be doable, but if you have the opportunity to do at least a couple of viewings, this will be extremely powerful. It will make it more real, and it will be easier for you to imagine yourself living in the neighborhood. Once you are in the area, whether you actually enter the apartment or not, study your surroundings. Where is the closest shop? How far is the tube station? Is there a bus stop nearby? Are the streets clean? Do you feel safe? Repeat the process with all the locations that you pre-selected. After exploring all the locations, you will have a gut feeling about which area is a huge no and which one is your favorite. If you hated everything, that's okay too. Repeat the process from step 1 with different tube stations. You may have noticed that I talk a lot about feeling, loving, hating, vibing with a place in this video. This is because moving is an emotional process, both to find your neighborhood and the actual apartment, which is why it is an overwhelming process for a lot of people. My goal was to give you an easy-to-follow step-by-step so you can limit the guesswork and trust your instinct more easily. You can also download your checklist for free. I put the link in the description. Now that you know where to look, you are ready to start apartment hunting properly. If you would like a video on how to find dream apartments, let me know in the comments.